I knew based on my type of cancer, especially after the surgery, I knew the odds of recurrence were about 70 to 80%. And I knew that those recurrences typically happened in about 2 years. So as far as my medical journey, it was this really surreal time for me 2 years ago when I finished treatment and everyone was excited for me. And I knew that it was most likely just a matter of time before it would come back. So I was very, very clear starting back in 2018 that I wanted to utilize the death with dignity drugs, medical aided end-of-life process, if it came back. Because when it actually came back, I was from the hospital trying to line up appointments with medical providers who would help me. But, it is hard when you are dying and hospitalized, healing from a major surgery and grieving this major loss to go through the logistics of it. It felt like a really, 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 really long time to have to wait to get through that process. But I was suffering constantly for about a month there, and that I could not wait to get through that timeline. I cannot emphasize enough how much of a relief it has been to just have those medications in my possession, knowing I could take them if the day gets too bad, and the days are certainly getting worse. I think I have always been passionate about advocacy. I did a lot of work in North Carolina with survivors of intimate partner violence and ended up getting a master's of social work. I applied to Vermont Law School's accelerated JD program. So I ended up working as a prosecutor for the last 4 years. And most recently I was doing basically our sex crimes unit. So serious crimes against children or crimes of sexual violence. And that was really rewarding work that I'm glad I got to at least do a little bit of before going on medical leave. I've always prided myself on my independence, and this illness has really been humbling. It has been humbling to watch my body fail to support me, fail to do its job the way I'm used to. But also just the loss of independence has been really hard, and I'm very grateful to have an option that I can utilize on the day when I decide enough's enough. I don't need to suffer anymore. The whole time everyone was clear to me, you can always go through the process and not use the medication. And I knew that. Right now, as I get sicker and sicker, it looks more likely that will be a tool I will actually utilize. But I've been grateful to have it there in my toolbox nonetheless. I am so grateful this is something I worked through mentally and emotionally 2 years ago. I think there can be a lot of pressure in our society to keep fighting, especially as a young cancer patient. And I think what folks don't always realize is sometimes that keep fighting is really just a lot of prolonged physical suffering that gets worse and worse. I am grateful for all the providers who have agreed with me that this is a valid option, to take some control during this process, which is such a profound loss of control. I'm very grateful for my family's support throughout this. They've really been able to have some real conversations about this and are accepting of my decision to go the death with dignity route. They understand it, especially my mother, who's been watching me deteriorate for the last 3 months.